Have you ever read something so alarming that you couldn't sleep afterward? That happened to me one night. I was reviewing a confidential medical report, something I wasn't even supposed to see, and buried halfway through was a single number that froze me cold. Almost half of all Americans over 60 are already suffering from dangerous muscle loss. Not weakness, not fatigue, actual loss of muscle tissue, the very thing that lets us stand, walk, climb stairs, or hug the people we love. And the report didn't blame age alone, it blamed the food sitting on our plates every single day. What I read next made me furious. Major food companies were quietly stripping real nutrients out of their products to make them cheaper to ship overseas, then slapping on healthy labels to keep seniors buying. Even worse, those same corporations were paying influencers to promote protein powders that contain less than 20% of the real ingredient, the rest just filler and starch. That means thousands of older adults are following the wrong advice, believing they're nourishing their bodies, while in reality, their muscles are starving. But here's what those pages also revealed, and what they probably never wanted us to see. Scientists have already identified 8 real foods, not powders, not pills that can start restoring leg strength in as little as 72 hours. Real foods found in grocery stores and kitchens across America, simple, affordable, and powerful enough to help you walk steadier, stand taller, and live more freely again. And as I read the data, I knew I had to share it, because this isn't about selling supplements, it's about giving back control. So today, let's open that list together, starting with a tiny ocean fish whose power to rebuild muscle is far bigger than its size. When most people see anchovies, they think too salty or pizza topping. I see one of the most efficient muscle-restoring foods nature ever made. These little silver fish are so nutrient-dense that ounce for ounce they deliver more usable protein, omega-3s, calcium, and vitamin D than almost any other seafood on the shelf. Research published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle found that older adults who increased omega-3 intake improved muscle protein synthesis by nearly 30%, especially when paired with light resistance exercise. That's not a small bump, that's the difference between shuffling across a room and walking with confidence. Anchovies have another hidden advantage. We eat them whole bones and all. That means every bite includes natural calcium and phosphorus, the very minerals that keep your skeletal frame solid enough to support rebuilding muscle fibers. I once had a patient, a retired mechanic in his 70s, who switched from deli meats back to anchovies 2 or 3 times a week. Within weeks, his steps grew quicker and steadier. He called it going back to basics. Science simply calls it nutrient density, and unlike large fish, anchovies carry almost 0 mercury, so they're safe to eat often. Add a few fillets to salads, melt them into pasta sauce, or mash them onto whole grain toast, a salty secret that keeps your muscles young. But the sea doesn't hold all the answers. Sometimes the greatest strength hides inside a single ancient grain, one that fed entire civilizations and still fuels endurance today. When I first looked into amaranth, I realized this humble seed had been underestimated for centuries. Long before supplements existed, cultures across Mexico and South America used it as warrior fuel, and modern science finally caught up. Amaranth is a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids. 1 cooked cup packs around 9 grams of protein, along with magnesium, iron, calcium, and fiber. Together, these nutrients form a perfect recovery system for aging muscles that struggle to rebuild after meals. A study in the International Journal of Food Sciences and Nutrition found that seniors who regularly consumed amaranth increased their endurance by 25% compared to those eating refined grains. Another clinical trial showed it reduced muscle fatigue and stabilized blood sugar, 2 huge wins for anyone over 60. I remember a woman named Elena, 68, who complained her legs cramped every night. She swapped her white rice for amaranth porridge twice a week. Within a month, her energy was steady, her cramps nearly gone, and her morning walks no longer felt like uphill battles. The fiber in amaranth slows glucose, swings, keeping energy smooth while its minerals help each muscle cell fire properly. It's the kind of food that reminds your body what strong used to feel like. Cook it like oatmeal, pop it like popcorn, or mix the flour into pancakes. However you enjoy it, amaranth proves 1, truth muscle isn't built in gyms alone, it's rebuilt in kitchens. And while this tiny grain restores endurance, there's a creature beneath the waves whose power to repair muscle borders on science fiction. Most people never imagine octopus as a health food, but they should. Each 3-ounce serving delivers about 25 grams of lean protein, almost no fat, and a remarkable amino acid called taurine, a natural shield against muscle fatigue and oxidative stress. A 2022 study in the Journal of Food Science and Technology confirmed that taurine-rich seafood, like octopus, improves endurance and muscle contraction by over 20% in older adults. Combine that with vitamin B12, iron, copper, and selenium, and you get a full-spectrum repair kit for tired muscles and aging nerves. I'll never forget a patient in his early 70s, a former fisherman who once ate octopus weekly but stopped after moving inland. His legs weakened, his balance wavered. When he reintroduced grilled octopus twice a week, he told me, "It feels like my legs woke up again. The science agrees, protein rebuilds taurine, protects, and minerals keep oxygen flowing through every cell." Octopus may sound exotic, but frozen or canned versions are easy to find at major supermarkets. Grill it, braise it, or toss it into stews. What matters is consistency. 2 servings a week can noticeably enhance stamina and mobility. Yet strength isn't only born in the ocean. Sometimes it grows quietly from the soil disguised as a simple weed that most people pull from their gardens. If you've ever seen purslane creeping along a sidewalk crack, you've looked at one of nature's best anti-inflammatory foods and probably stepped right over it. This fleshy little green is loaded with plant-based omega-3s, magnesium, potassium, and vitamins A, C, and E. In older adults, that combination does something powerful. It reduces chronic inflammation, the silent thief that breaks down muscle tissue over time. A study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found purslane improved muscle function and lowered oxidative stress markers in seniors within just weeks. I recall a 69-year-old woman from Portland who added purslane to her soups after hearing me speak about it. 3 weeks later, she said, "My ankles don't swell anymore, and I can walk the block again without stopping." That's not magic. It's minerals and omega-3s working in harmony. Purslane's slightly tangy flavour fits easily into salads, stir-fries or omelettes. It hydrates, nourishes and restores balance to muscles and circulation alike. But from the quiet corners of the garden, let's dive once more into the ocean to meet a strange creature whose collagen-rich body can literally stitch aging muscles back together. It may not look appetizing, but the sea cucumber is a marine miracle for aging joints and muscles. Rich in high-quality protein, marine collagen, and a compound called chondroitin sulfate, it targets 2 key issues at once: muscle weakness and joint pain. Research published in the Journal of Functional Foods showed older adults supplementing with sea cucumber protein increased endurance by 20% and reported less fatigue within 8 weeks. Another review found its chondroitin content eased joint stiffness and improved mobility scores in seniors. I remember an older gentleman from Florida who struggled to stand after gardening. His son introduced him to a weekly soup made with dried sea cucumber, a traditional recipe from his culture. Within 2 months, he was back tending his plants, smiling as he said, "It feels like my knees have oil again." That's the effect of collagen and chondroitin working together, rebuilding connective tissue, protecting joints, and reducing the pain that limits movement. Sea cucumber may sound exotic, but Asian markets or online stores often carry it dried. Rehydrate, simmer, and season it absorbs flavour like a sponge. It's medicinal nutrition disguised as comfort food. Yet you don't need rare seafood to feed your muscles. Sometimes the most powerful repair happens while you sleep with the food sitting quietly in your fridge. Cottage cheese might look humble, but it's a nighttime recovery weapon. Each cup contains about 25 grams of protein, mostly cased in a slow digesting form that feeds muscles for up to 8 hours. In a British Journal of Nutrition study, seniors who ate casein-rich dairy before bed had greater overnight muscle protein synthesis than those who went to sleep hungry. Another long-term analysis found diets high in dairy protein cut frailty risk by 20%. I had a patient, a 72-year-old grandmother, who woke up stiff every morning. I suggested half a cup of cottage cheese about an hour before bed. 2 weeks later, she told me I get out of bed without groaning now. That's the quiet power of casein fueling repair while the world sleeps. Add fruit, sprinkle cinnamon, or blend it into smoothies. It's affordable, gentle on digestion, and keeps your muscles nourished through the night. And if cottage cheese can rebuild while you rest, imagine what a single cup of warm broth can do when it's brewed from the very bones that built our strength in the first place. For centuries, grandmothers have sworn by bone broth, and science finally agrees with them. Made by simmering bones and connective tissue for hours, it's packed with collagen gelatin, glycine, proline, and essential minerals like calcium and magnesium. A study in Nutrients found collagen peptides from bone broth, improved muscle mass, and reduced joint pain in adults over 60 after just 12 weeks. Another trial showed collagen supplementation increased leg strength and walking speed by up to 15% in those with sarcopenia. One of my patients, 75, recovering from a hip fracture, started drinking 1 cup of homemade chicken bone broth each evening. 3 months later, he was walking outdoors again without a cane. He called it his liquid repair kit, and he was right. Collagen and gelatin patch up microscopic muscle tears, while glycine cushions joints and magnesium keeps bones dense. The result isn't just comfort, it's restored confidence. Sip it. Like tea, use it as soup base or cook grains in it. Real strength doesn't always come in a bottle. Sometimes it simmers slowly in a pot. And if broth can heal from the inside out, wait until you see the green leaves that can ignite new growth, the final and most overlooked key to lasting leg strength. While most people cook the pumpkin and throw away the leaves, they're tossing out one of nature's best defenses against muscle loss. Pumpkin leaves are loaded with plant protein, calcium, magnesium, iron and vitamin K, a combination tailor-made for rebuilding both bone and muscle tissue. The Journal of Medicinal Food reported that extracts from pumpkin leaves increased muscle strength and reduced fatigue by more than 20% in older adults. Another long-term study found that leafy green diets slowed muscle decline and improved walking speed among seniors. I once spoke with a 70-year-old woman who returned to her childhood dish pumpkin leaf soup after years of eating mostly processed vegetables. Within weeks, her leg cramps eased, her balance improved, and she smiled, saying, "It feels like I brought my strength back from the garden." That's not nostalgia. That's nutrition at work. Calcium and vitamin K reinforce bone density. Magnesium prevents painful cramps, and the plant proteins provide essential amino acids for muscle repair. Together, they form a natural, muscle-preserving miracle, one most Americans overlook. You can saute the leaves, boil them, or add them to soups. Their earthy flavour pairs perfectly with garlic and a drizzle of olive oil, and each serving is a reminder strength doesn't retire, it just needs the right fuel to wake up again. Because what starts in your kitchen doesn't just rebuild your muscles, it rebuilds your independence. From the tiny anchovy in the sea to the humble pumpkin leaf in the garden, every food we've explored today shares one message: real nutrition still works. Not the powders, not the pills, not the flashy promises. Just food in its pure natural form. That's where strength begins. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this: losing muscle with age isn't fate. It's a warning light, and you now know how to turn it off. These 8 foods aren't trends. They're tools your body understands perfectly because it was designed to thrive on them. Think about it. Anchovies rebuilding protein from the sea amaranth giving back endurance once lost, octopus fueling circulation, and nerves purslane clearing inflammation, sea cucumber stitching joints, cottage cheese repairing muscle overnight, bone broth restoring from the inside out, and pumpkin leaves guarding your strength for the years ahead. Together they form your personal recovery system, a natural way to reclaim balance, mobility and confidence. And remember, you don't need to change everything overnight. Start small, add one of these foods to your plate this week. Notice how your body responds: the steadier steps, the easier mornings, the feeling that you're standing a little taller. Those are not coincidences. They're proof that your body still listens when you feed it the right language. I tell every patient the same thing: strength doesn't retire. It simply waits for the moment you decide to wake it up again. And when you do with the right foods, a little movement and daily consistency, the results come faster than you'd ever imagine. You deserve to walk without fear, to carry your own groceries, to feel proud of what your body can still do. Age should never steal your independence, not when nature has already given you the answers. So keep this video saved. Rewatch it when you need motivation, or share it with someone you care about, a parent, a neighbour, a friend who's starting to struggle with leg strength. You could be the reason they stand stronger again. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from, and which of these foods are you most excited to try? First, drop it in the comments below. I read every story because your journey might inspire another senior to start theirs. If this video gave you value, please tap the like button, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our newest science-backed health updates. Every week we bring you real medical insight, simple, practical and proven, to help you protect your muscles, your energy and your independence. I'm grateful you spent this time with me today. Take care of yourself, eat real food, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.